In the AFC Championship, before 80,000 howling fans, the Pandemonium Palace that was Cleveland Stadium rocked with cries of a Super Bowl. The 1986 Cleveland Browns were one win away from being Super Bowl bound.
Super Bowl! Super Bowl! Super Bowl! Super Bowl! Super Bowl!
There's a gleam, men. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go. Pick up.
For 4 bruising quarters, the Browns and Broncos waged a titanic defensive battle.
We've come too damn far. I'm telling you, to be denied. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Brennan in motion. Weathers lined up on the right side. Kosar to throw. Swings it out. Fontenot has it at the 5. One man to beat.
What a move.
Touchdown. Herman Fontenot pulled the trigger. What a deceptive move for a Brown score. The Cleveland Browns have drawn first blood in front of a capacity crowd here at the stadium. Kosar backpedaling. He's throwing the home run ball for Brennan. Turns one way, turns the other. Got it. Ball at the 15. 10, 5. Touchdown Browns. Brian Brennan has done it for the umpteenth time. Everybody standing here at the stadium, and once again it's Pandemonium Palace at the House of Thrills on Lake Erie.
You may have just seen the straw that broke the Broncos' back.
We are going to win it.
You never know with Elway and company. They've got the great capability of striking quickly.
And the Broncos are 98 yards away from where they need to go. They need something out of this drive.
Come on, Johnny!
And Elway to throw and play action. Pops it over the middle. And it is caught by Sewell at the Denver 48.
Come on, stick it to him, baby! Stick it to him!
Elway threaded the needle. The Chiefs keep moving. First down.
A trip to Pasadena could boil down to this play.
Touchdown! It is all over here in Cleveland, and the big gathering of 79,915 is silent, and now they rise to salute the Cleveland Browns, who gave them such an incredible 1986 season.
There's a large sign on the far side of the stadium that says, "Thank you, Browns." And I think that round of applause is just an echo of that sentiment.
They played their hearts out, and they gave it their best shot, and they got a lot farther than anybody would have thought when they started in July.
All right, get that thinking bonnet going out there. Let's go now. Come on, let's go, guys. Get lined up right.
Summer camp marked the introduction of a more balanced attack, authored by new offensive coordinator Lindy Infante.
I don't have any preconceived ideas of what we have to get done to win at this point. Just hope that we can be diverse and everybody can get into the act.
Our players on offense are excited about it because there are a lot of built-in options to that pass offense. As Lindy has said, there's enough flexibility for a receiver that if he doesn't get open, he can't blame it on the system. It's probably that he's not good enough.
The new system was good enough for a perfect preseason record. At an opening day flurry of points in Chicago that threw a huge scare into the defending champion Bears. But the Browns lost more than the opening game. Here began a casualty list that looked like a script from St. Elsewhere. 3 key players, Ozzie Newsome, Al Gross, and Kevin Mack, suffered season-long injuries. The next week in Houston with Mack on the sidelines, the offense struggled early but pulled off a game-winning play.
Kosar throwing deep over the middle for Langhorne. He's open. Got the ball. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Browns.
Bernie Kosar with an excellent throw to Reggie Langhorne. He hit him in mid-stride with a perfect deep ball.
Against the Oilers, Kosar and company accounted for the team's first victory of the season. Against the Steelers, they got the most welcome, winning in Three River Stadium for the first time in 17 years. The method was the new air attack. The weapons were Bernie Kosar and first-year starting receivers Reggie Langhorne and Webster Slaughter. But the player who iced the game was the smallest on the field. The Ice Cube, Gerald McNeil, number 89.
Up to the 5, to the middle, to the 10, to the 20. Opening at the 30. He might be gone. McNeil to the clear. Gerald McNeil will go for a 100-yard touchdown. That little man is paying the dividend. Look at that.
In 1986, McNeil gave the Browns a long-sought ingredient: blazing breakaway speed on special teams. The Cube was the only NFL player to return both a kickoff and a punt for touchdown.
25 and in the open, look out. 40, 50, he's gone. Without the light. Gone. Gerald McNeil for a touchdown. TWA. 84-yard return for the touchdown.
In the season's first half, McNeil and the special teams directly won 3 games. The most critical came in Minnesota when trailing by 14 at the half. The Suicide Squad pulled off the play of the day. Offensively, Curtis Dickey ran for over 100 yards as Cleveland's 20-point second-half explosion won a game that was called the biggest of the season by Marty Schottenheimer. It emphasized a characteristic of his team, the ability of one element to take up slack for another. While the ground game and special teams defeated the Vikings, defense smothered the Chiefs. In the finest showing in 13 years, KC was limited to only 43 yards rushing, 83 yards passing as the Browns romped on a Sunday afternoon at the lakefront. But just when things appeared brightest at Pandemonium Palace, the Packers came to town and stole a game the high-flying Browns should have won. The loss was even more painful because Ernest Biner was lost for the season. His departure combined with Kevin Mack's injuries sabotaged the ground game. But in the season's second half, which began in the Hoosier Dome, the air attack rode to the rescue. Bernie Kosar's 3 touchdown passes, including a 72-yard bomb to Herman Fontenot, was the first salvo in the season's second-half aerial explosion. 1 week later, on a Monday night before a jam-packed crowd and nationwide television audience, Bernie the Kid officially joined the ranks of top NFL quarterbacks. His showcase was a rematch with Miami, who had knocked Cleveland out of the playoffs the previous year. Every member of the team was thinking revenge. On this November evening, Schottenheimer turned his young quarterback loose for the first time in his brief pro career, and Kosar's vast potential was transformed into spectacular performance. Over 400 passing yards against the Dolphin defense. Victory and revenge was easily the Browns.
Holden in for blocking purposes. Kosar turns, hands off to Holt on an end around. Holt at the 15, at the 10, 5, touchdown Browns! How about that?
Cleveland fans had seen Kosar outduel Dan Marino, and the idea began to form that anything was possible for this 1986 Browns team. At home against the Steelers, Kosar celebrated his birthday with the second-best passing day in Cleveland history. Behind flawless protection from his offensive line, the birthday boy pierced the steel curtain 28 times for a whopping 414 yards. Consistently calling audibles to beat the blitz, Kosar spread passes to 9 different receivers as the attack racked up 536 yards, the most ever earned against a Steeler defense. Despite the onslaught, at the end of 4 quarters, the game was tied at 31 and plunged into sudden death.
All right, those of you with heart pacemakers, get the batteries recharged right now.
Cardiac kids are back.
Kosar wants to throw, pumping once, now throwing long down the left side. Slaughter has it. He's going in for a touchdown. The Cleveland won the game.
36-yard touchdown pass, and Bernie's got his 400 yards plus.
Oh, my.
You want to see what Bernie Kosar is going to do for the Browns? You just saw it.
And the Browns are going absolutely berserk in the end zone. Oh, this crowd can't get enough of it.
The pandemonium was well placed. For the first time in 17 years, the Browns swept the season series from their arch rivals. The team was now 8-4, and division rival Houston was next on the agenda.
Amen. Do it our way, one play at a time. Let's go.
Kosar being blitzed, fires. Brennan caught the ball and breaks away at the 10, 5, touchdown Browns. Brian Brennan does it again.
But Brian Brennan's touchdown was the only one Cleveland scored all day. And for the second straight week, the final gun signals sudden death.
We've been here before. There's a first period, a second period, a third period, a fourth period. This is the Browns period. Let's go.
In overtime, Frank Minifield was the star, twice stopping drives with interceptions. His pair in sudden death were a league first and just 2 of 6 thefts by the Browns defense. Minifield's last steal set up the winning score. It was delivered by the newest member of the squad, Mark Mosley, signed to replace injured Matt Barr earlier in the week. Now in his first appearance in a Cleveland uniform, the game was on the line for the battle-tested 10-year veteran.
All right, here we go. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up. It is good. Game, set, and match. Cleveland Browns 13-10. Mark Mosley has done it.
Welcome to Cleveland, Mark Mosley. You just found 44 new teammates.
You've got to expect to get things done, and that's what's happened with our football team this year. Our football team is expecting to win close ball games, and when we had to, we got it done.
Winners of 2 straight overtimes and 6 of their last 7. The team traveled to Cincinnati for a game that would decide the division title.
These guys brought their champagne to our stadium, fellas. No way, man. Take the drink. All right, now listen to me. It hasn't changed. Toughness, persistence produces championships. Let's go.
Bernie Kosar has them set to go. First down. Kosar turns, fakes a handoff. He wants to throw, pumps once. Going deep downfield for Langhorne. Caught the ball at the 25, down to the 10, the 5, the 1-yard line. The Browns burn Cincinnati on the bomb on the very first play.
Kosar, the artist of the unorthodox, was flawless. No sacks, no interceptions, just countless big plays.
Kosar fakes a handoff to Dickey, going to throw, wants all of it, deep down the left side. Slaughter open, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown Browns!
But as good as Bernie and the offense were, the defense matched them, completely devouring the league's top-rated attack and holding the Bengals to a harmless 3 points. With a lopsided 34-3 triumph, The Cleveland Browns were winners of the AFC Central Division title for the second consecutive year and established themselves as legitimate Super Bowl contenders.
And the Browns are the AFC Central Division champions for the second year in a row. No apologies or excuses have to be extended. The Browns have blown out the Cincinnati Bengals 34-3.
Your performance today proves one thing. Talent may win games, but teams win championships. Yes.
In Week 16, Cleveland hosted San Diego in the regular season finale. In some ways, this was the team's most impressive game, for despite having won their division and clinched home field advantage, they went out and simply dismantled an improving Chargers team. This was the attack operating at its peak as Cleveland won its 12th, best in its history, best in the entire AFC.
Here's a handoff to Fontenot, and he wants to throw. Fontenot going for Webster. Slaughter, he's wide open at the 5. Touchdown, Browns!
What a great play. When you have the AFC Division Championship wrapped up, you can bring the gadgets and the razzle-dazzle out of the playbook and make it fun to play today.
Kosar to throw, chased out of the pocket. Throwing deep for Brian Brennan, open at the 10. Caught the ball, and down he goes at the 5. Gets back up, goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Brian Brennan kept his presence of mind. Now the Browns are being saluted here as the clock winds down on the final play of the regular season. And the Browns secondary exchanges high fives on a victory lap in front of the bleachers. The Cleveland Browns have put the lid on a magnificent regular season with a record of 12-4 as they bounce the San Diego Chargers here in the regular season finale, 47-17.
We expected to win this game today. The whole team had confidence, and it's time to move forward from here now. We still haven't accomplished our goal yet.
It's the Browns against the Jets here at Cleveland Stadium.
All right, Rex! All right, baby!
Cleveland with a lot of momentum after the regular season, having won their last 5 games and 7 of their last 8, primarily through the offensive heroics of Bernie Kosar. Hang on, folks. Fasten your seatbelts. We could have a shootout here on the lakefront. 1st and 10 from the Jets 37. Fake handoff, fake reverse. Kosar gonna throw deep down the right side. Fontenot wide open at the 10. 5, touchdown Browns!
Amidst the playoff pandemonium, Bernie Kosar was in complete control. The youngster scaled new heights in the NFL record book. 33 of 64 for 489 yards. Against the Jets, Kosar and company shared the spotlight with a ferocious pass rush that tied a league record with 9 sacks. But as Super Bowl signs surfaced, it appeared the Browns' heroics would be wasted. For the Jets staged a comeback.
McNeil finds some room. McNeil still on his feet to the 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown! The Jets are going to win this football game. The Jets are going to the AFC Championship.
Well, the fat lady hasn't sung yet, but you can believe she's in the wings warming up the pipes. Browns have to score on this drive.
Take them all the way, Bernie. Take them home.
Bernie throwing deep down the left side. Slaughter is open. They got the ball at the 5-yard line.
I tell you what, those people at left better come on back because this ball game is not over.
Now here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up. It is good, and the game is tied. The Browns have come back from an unbelievable disaster to tie it. Ernie the Kid looked bad for a moment, but when the pressure was on, he came back and got the 10 points he needed. This place is absolutely bedlam. The stadium has gone berserk.
But the best was yet to come in Pandemonium Palace.
Hey, we've been here before. You remember? We've been here before, not once, but twice. Now, third time's a charm for us. Hey, one play at a time. Here we go, here we go.
By stopping New York on 3 straight series, Cleveland's defense dominated double overtime. Their clutch performance set up the winning score.
We are gonna win. We are gonna win.
Here we go. 37-yard attempt. The kick is up. It is good. The Browns have won the game. The Browns have won the game in double overtime, and the stadium has gone berserk.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
A young quarterback today threw for 489 yards to bring his team back in the final 3 minutes of regulation play, and the Browns will play for the AFC Championship, folks.